What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I wanted to take you guys with me on this little ride I'm about to go on because it's so beautiful. I had to take my bike out, and it actually has something to do with what I'm talking about today. Now, I tried to film this yesterday, but the weather did not agree with me at all. Oh my god, huge mistake. So, I get this question a lot from people, mostly from other foreigners living here. And that is, can you ride a motorcycle? But I'm going to answer that, but what I really want to answer is, should you ride a motorcycle or buy a motorcycle if you're ever living in China, okay? Now, can you ride a motorcycle in China? I can't just say yes or no, because it really depends on the city you live in, like most things. In cities like this, in Huizhou, like a third-tier city, it's kind of a gray area. They always say, oh, motorcycles are banned, or anything petrol-powered is banned, which is sort of true, okay? Let me explain that. It's technically illegal for people to drive petrol-powered motorcycles or scooters here in Huizhou, but everyone still does. Simply because it's more of like, you know, once a month they'll be like, oh, motorcycles are banned. Simply because like they'll set up these like checkpoints at red lights, and then they'll confiscate your bike. And that'll happen. They'll be really serious about it for like a month, and then they'll forget about it. Right? China's really gray like that. The law here isn't really like black and white. It's kind of odd. Like, you know, like technically it's illegal to ride without a helmet, but then like, look at this guy, no helmet, right? Technically it's illegal to jaywalk, but you know, well, there's no one jaywalking right now, but technically it's illegal to litter, and that guy just dropped some trash. Jaywalking, except you're on a bicycle. But anyways, you get my point. Technically, a lot of things are legal, but they just don't really get enforced that well. I've been pulled over like a few times. Well, not really pulled over. Like you'll never see in China, like you'll never see like a police chase, or you'll never see someone get pulled over on the side of the road. It's always at a red light. They'll stop you. They'll write you a ticket, whatever. It's always like that, like little traps. And you know, usually I've only had my bike confiscated like, I don't know, a few times, but then you pay 100 RMB and you go to the impound and you pick it up. It's not a big deal. Depending on the cop. Usually they're pretty nice, they're doing their job, and if you're riding something a little bit more unique, a little bit more different, they want to ask you about it, and they're cool, and whatever. And the other side of it is, like, if you're a foreigner and you don't speak Chinese, then chances are they just don't really want to deal with it, because they don't speak English. It's kind of like, well, fuck it, let them go. However, having said that, if you live in a city like Shenzhen or Guangzhou, a bigger city, forget about it. Totally banned. They're very serious about it. You can't even go near that city with a bike before the cops are all over you. So forget, if you're going to live in a big city, it's not going to happen. Cities like Shanghai, and actually this could be similar to Guangzhou and Shenzhen, but cities like Shanghai, you can ride a motorcycle, but to get a legal license plate, it costs so much money. So it costs just as much as most bikes. So you're not going to see someone with like a shitty little 125 riding around, because it's just not worth it for them to get a license plate. It doesn't make any sense. So you really got to figure out where you want to live, where do you live, and check with the law enforcement to see what are their laws on motorcycles and how serious are they about enforcing them. Yeah, I guess it's kind of illegal, but you can still do it if you're careful, if you kind of avoid cops, right? Like and that sounds horrible. Like, are you saying, oh, Prozzie, are you telling me to break the law? No, I'm not saying it's a good idea to break the law, but it's weird because if you're explaining this to a foreigner, it's like, no, you're definitely telling me to break the law. But in China, like the law, like I said, it's so loose and it's so gray that you're more bending it than you are breaking it, I guess. I'm not supposed to be U-turning here. I'm just stuck between all of these cars, and they're very close to me. So if you're interested in riding, or you're thinking about riding in China, I say definitely do it, because riding is fucking cool. Like it is. Like, I don't have my head stuffed so far up my ass that I won't admit that riding is like the coolest fucking thing ever, right? There's just something masculine about it. There's something just about that, like, I don't want any blood inside my hands. It's got this, like, it's got this feeling. It's got this kind of, like, I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, I think you should definitely ride a motorcycle here in China. You unlock, the biggest advantage to riding here, I guess, kind of anywhere, is that you unlock so much freedom to go other places, because chances are if you're a foreigner, you're not going to be able to afford a car, but you can afford a motorcycle. And what that means is that you're able to actually leave the city, go out and see the rural areas, ride, meet like farmers and shit. It's fucking awesome. But anyways, yeah, it's just so much fun to get out of the city, because otherwise you're going to have to take the bus, and you're not really enjoying it, and then it's just kind of like place to place. You don't really get to enjoy all the in-betweens. But especially if you have friends that can ride with you, like that's awesome. That's the best. The best times I've ever had in my life are on my bikes with my friends.
Get the f*** out of my way. Oh, that son of a bitch. He took the truck. Get the out of my way.
So, like, when I first moved to China, I was living in Kaifeng, and I was very new. It was only a couple of weeks in, and I'd always kind of, like, go for walks, you know, trying to explore, get to know my bearings, sort of figure out where I was and all that kind of stuff. I remember passing by this guy, and he had this little shop. He kind of sold and fixed old motorcycles. Not really old, but, you know, used motorcycles. And I saw this green one that I thought was kind of cool, and I was like, well, how much is this? And I think he said, I think I bought it for, like, I bargained him down to, like, $4,000 or something like that, 4,000 RMB. What the fuck, make a decision. And yeah, so I bought that, and I rode it down forever. And I remember, I actually didn't know how to ride. I had no idea how to ride a motorcycle. It was my first time. And so I had the guy that I bought it from drive me to the university that I was working at so that I could learn how to ride it in a parking lot. And I would just sit there in that parking lot for like a couple hours figuring out like how the gearbox worked and stuff. And then over the course of the months, I would just go out and ride, and it was like awesome. And I got to explore a lot more of Henan. And if I didn't have a motorcycle, then I wouldn't be able to explore as much as I did. Like, I've been all over Henan on my bikes up there. And it was just so much fun. I crashed a lot. You're going to crash a lot if you ride here. Just because, you know, for us, the way of riding here is so unfamiliar, especially if you ride like I do. I ride like an asshole. I think I bought another bike up there. It was like a shitty dirt bike or something. And then I moved down here, and I met C-Milk, who also loves to ride, and Winston. And then between that time, I've owned like countless bikes. Not because I'm rich. You guys know I am fucking poor. But it's just because they're so accessible, and they're cheaper than they are in the West. You're not going to be able to ride, well, I mean, unless you have the money, but you're probably not going to be riding anything like big, right? A lot of Americans laugh and they're like, 125s, 250s, those aren't even considered motorcycles in America. Fair enough, but this is not America. Everyone here rides 125s or 250s. And there's some guys that have, you know, a bit of cash and they can afford better bikes, you know, that's cool. But for me, I think the biggest bike I've ever owned is like a 400cc, something that I think C-Milk built it or something. And, you know, but that's okay because you're not really going to be able to, like, if you buy a liter bike, like if you buy like a 1,000cc motorcycle, chances are there's not really going to be too many places in China for you to use all of that power. Like, I'm on a 250 right now, and it's got all the power I need. I'm more than happy with this. This is great. Yeah, this is awesome. I love, you know, I think a 250 is exactly where you want to be, but a 125 is also fine. Again, C-Milk and Winston took their 125cc's all the way across southern and northern China without any problems. The other problem, the one problem with riding a bigger bike is that no one knows how to fix them. You know, the guys that work on the bikes here, you know, they've been working on 125s or carbureted bikes anyways for their entire lives. They know exactly what they're doing. They know how to fix everything. But you show them anything with a computer on it or anything with a bigger motor, maybe it's like liquid cooled or maybe it's fuel injected. They will not have any idea how to work on it. You're fucked. If you break a bike, like a big bike here, you're going to have to take it to like a specialized shop or something like that. So if I were to recommend one bike that you should get in China, it would be probably the Suzuki GN125. There's a shop here in Huizhou that sells one for I think like $7,000, but you could definitely get that down. You could definitely bargain it down for a better price. The other thing is like, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, I'm pretty sure that's the bike that C-Milk and Winston based their Churchill bikes off of. It's got a real Suzuki engine in it. But yeah, the other thing I would worry about if you want to ride here are the thieves. China, unfortunately, has a large number of thieves. And that fucking sucks. A lot of people say, like, oh, who cares, whatever. Like, you know, you should have insurance on your bike, so it doesn't matter. You can just get another one. But those people don't get it. Those people have never owned a motorcycle. It's not the fact that they stole something. It's the fact that they stole your motorcycle, something that you really have, like, a connection to. You know, like, our bikes have taken us all over the province, all over the country, in some of in C-Milk's cases. And you really form an attachment to that machine. There's something about it that you really love. And when someone takes it from you, it's fucking devastating. And I must be a fucking idiot because I've had like 7 or 8 motorcycles stolen from me. It sucks. It sucks when that happens. That's something I would really, really be worried about if you're going to ride here. Definitely invest in locks. Definitely park underground where thieves might not be able to, what the hell are they doing? Might not be able to get at it. At the end of the day, though, you know, I've had all those things, and if a thief wants your bike, he's going to get it. That's one reason why I recommend the Suzuki GN125. It's not like you can still work on it, you can still modify it, you can still make it cool, but it's not like a 400cc CC whatever Kawasaki that someone's really going to want to steal and make a profit from. So yeah, can you ride a motorcycle? Depends. Should you ride a motorcycle? Yes, definitely. Definitely learn to love this hobby. So anyways, that's my video. I apologize I didn't release last week. It's been a kind of a bit. Look at this guy's. This wheel's so bent. Poor guy. Sorry I didn't release any videos this week. It was been a bit of a busy schedule. I was in Shenzhen filming with Winston, and then immediately after that, I was in Shanghai filming with my buddy Primo, who has a channel called Raising Shanghai. Go check that out. I'm hoping to pump out the Shanghai stuff soon. But yeah, it's just been a really busy week. If you want some extra content, go to my Patreon, support me there. I've got some early access that's coming out next week. It's a collab I did with Sea Milk, and it should be a fairly interesting video. Anyways, guys, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day on my motorcycle. Stay awesome. Keep your stick on the ice. I'll catch you on the next one.